it getting easier to lead projects with experience? Well, at least it wasn't for me, and I've been managing IT projects for 12 years. But damn, I really wish I could have done things smarter to finish this project successfully, but without so much stress. So to help you on your journey to becoming a great IT project manager, here are 16 brutal truths about IT project management I wish I would known a lot sooner. But before we dive in, I want you to know that I left you some valuable resources in the description that will help you master IT project management on an expert level and will help you overcome the challenges I talk about in this video. Let's jump straight into lesson number 1. None of your friends, relatives, and team members will ever understand what you do as a project manager. Also, they will never understand how difficult it is to lead a project. They can never really feel the responsibility, the stress, or the uncertainty that comes with project management. So the lesson here is to find a group of like-minded PMs with whom to share your worries and burdens. Also, I recommend having some routines to distress yourself after a working day. Alright, moving on. And here's the truth. There is a stage in your career where you suck. It feels like all project managers around you are so much better and you are a fraud, especially when you get a bigger project for a bigger company. But also, here's another fact. All project managers learned everything online or through trial and error in the trenches. So everyone is like that, and every project manager felt that imposter syndrome at some point. So the lesson number 2 is this. To become a great IT project manager, you must take credit for all your achievements and the impact you make. Otherwise, you'll end up with these constant self-doubts and feeling unappreciated. The next lesson I learned the hard way. You see, simply because you work with people in one company doesn't mean they want you or your project to succeed. This rule applies to all stakeholders. So, to finish projects successfully, you must work hard to get the support of people around you. And you also need to isolate people that want to impede your project. Alright, you must have heard that all projects are unique. That's true. But we manage this unique project using almost the same project management approach. And about 80% of your processes, tools, and frameworks will be the same throughout your whole career. So the lesson number 4 is that learning more and more theory doesn't make you better. Learning to use, adapt, and improve what you learned is much more critical. And here's another fact that will apply to 80% of all IT project managers. You will never lead a project that requires an approach like the one you learned in PMP or Prince2 certification. Instead, whenever you get a complex project, you don't try to make your project management more complicated. You break the project into smaller pieces and more manageable pieces, and you use the processes and tools you are familiar with. But this comes with a warning, and that's our lesson number 6. You see, Scrum or any agile framework is not enough in the IT industry. Everyone expects you to still manage stakeholders, risks, and project schedules, and with complex projects, you need to combine the best practices from agile frameworks and plan-driven project management. That's why the lesson for all new IT project managers and Scrum Masters is simple. You need to master project management right at the start of your career. And if that sounds like you, I created a professional development plan specifically for IT project managers. If you want to become a great PM with solid skills, this plan will give you a clear roadmap. So don't forget to get it after you watch this video. Okay, you already noticed that project management looks very structured in books, inputs, outputs, and some tools in the middle. As a result, we often assume that a document or tool should be a standalone piece. But that's the shortest way to overwhelm. Think about all the effort it would take to maintain all the separate documents on your project. So the lesson here is to tailor and integrate all the individual documents into one tool. This means that, for example, if you use Jira, you must keep everything in Jira. You must creatively incorporate the required concepts within the functionality that you have. And this leads us to the next critical idea. Every organization has some kind of project management approach. It may be simplistic and inefficient, but you will never start from a blank page, and you will never be allowed to change the whole approach at once. So, trying to master project management end to end is very counterproductive. Instead, you should think about project management as Lego set. You must learn how to combine different pieces efficiently and maybe even connect different Lego sets together. And keeping in mind this idea, the next lesson comes from mentoring hundreds of project managers. You see, mediocre project managers always blame the environment. They believe they can't change the processes or they don't have the required tools. But in reality, you have the control and authority to change many things in your project without ever touching those established policies of the company. There are maybe hundreds of small things you can fix or improve on any project. Also, there are intangible things like communication and stakeholder engagement that you can improve. So the lesson here is to always work with the environment, not against it. At the same time, a great project manager always improves project management approach, no matter what others think. Alright, and here's another common observation. People in general prefer ad hoc solutions to fix a problem here and now, instead of creating a process or workflow that will address the issue forever. That's why if you don't have an end-to-end vision of how to manage a project, then all your stakeholders will contribute to it. As a result, you'll get a Frankenstein's monster stitched from different experiences. This alone is one of the root causes of why you waste so much time on meetings. So the lesson here is never to let go of the control over decisions related to the project management approach. And this reminds me that project management is not a new concept. It's been here for many decades. But still, there is no standard PM approach that everyone learns at school. And we often assume that people know the basics of project management, Scrum, and leadership by default. You see, using project management best practices is only one half of your contribution to a project. Educating people and selling the benefits of using the correct approaches is the second one. And the lesson here is simple. You must educate your team members and stakeholders about your project management approach all the time. And by the way, on top of that, one of the key roles of a project manager is to motivate people. But you don't motivate them to make them happy. You must motivate the team and stakeholders to use the project management approach you selected. Moreover, you must motivate people to help you build this approach and sell its benefits to others. And this leads us to one of the biggest myths in project management. You see, soft skills like motivation and leadership will not make you a great project manager. Building a friendly relationships with the team is a good starting point, but it's an entry-level leadership for project managers. If you want to make huge impact and generate outstanding results, you must become a career development coach for your team members. You must help them reach their goals and get better salaries and titles. And while we are on the topic of salaries, you see, many project managers experience conflicting emotions regarding their role. On the one hand, they do not directly contribute to creating the product or service. Instead, they organize the work. But on the other hand, they feel they need to earn their salary. As a result, they tend to keep themselves busy by participating in all project activities, and they end up sitting in meetings all day long with no time left to do actual project management. And the lesson here is simple but not easy. You must delegate everything you can to become a great IT project manager. Okay, you can disagree with me on this, but project management certifications provide you with tons of knowledge and theory. However, they don't help you to lead projects. And in most cases, these certifications are a tool for getting better compensation. Again, to become a better project manager, you need to apply the knowledge you gained. But in most cases, you'll face a lot of resistance. So the lesson here is to master organizational change management, because it's a critical part of your job. Now, if you look carefully at all these insights, you'll notice one common theme. There is one critical skill you must develop: the skill of tailoring your project management approach. It means connecting all the processes and tools into one system that delivers results consistently. That's why, if you want to become a great IT project manager, get my professional development plan, identify the areas you need to tailor, and start implementing those improvements. And if you are wondering what a tailored project management approach looks like, click this video right now and you'll learn how I managed my projects. See you there.